Here's a project I've been working on around women's suffrage using artwork from that time period, which I obtained from the National Archives. And you can see I printed these photos on cardstock. I've connected them, after stenciling them, with conductive paint to a makey-makey device, which is connected to my computer. On my computer, I have Scratch programmed all the things that I want to happen. So let's see what happens when I engage with the conductive paint.
After her arrest on charges of voting illegally in the 1872 federal election, Susan B. Anthony went on a speaking tour of 29 towns and villages. Her speech, called "Is It a Crime for a Citizen of the United States to Vote?" shares with us, "Friends and fellow citizens, I stand before you tonight under indictment for the alleged crime of having voted at the last presidential election without having a lawful right to vote. It shall be my work this evening to prove to you that in thus voting, I not only committed no crime, but instead simply exercised my citizen's right, guaranteed to me and all United States citizens by the national Constitution, beyond the power of any state to deny." Women began protesting in front of the White House for the right to vote, starting in January of 1917. By August 28th of that year, 10 suffragists had been arrested. Many of these women were well-educated and well-connected in their communities. Members of the National Women's Party, which was started by Alice Paul, used the tactics of passive resistance to get their point across. When they were jailed, many of them refused to eat and were force-fed. In 1917, over 200 women were arrested and charged for obstructing sidewalk traffic outside of the White House. Conditions in the jailhouses varied, but in many cases, they were poorly ventilated, hot or cold, cramped conditions with limited access to quality food. Also, the women were sometimes abused, as happened on the Night of Terror, which occurred at the Occoquan Workhouse in Virginia on November 14th of 1917. There were a group of 33 female protesters who were physically harmed, many of them members of the National Women's Party.
So you can see that by using a makey-makey, Scratch, and conductive paint, I was able to design a creative project that our students can replicate.